Gentlemen, if you have ever stood in your kitchen staring at a carton of eggs and wondered how many eggs you can safely eat each day, trust me, you are not alone. People argue about this constantly. Some say 1 egg, some say 2, some say avoid them completely. And then you meet men who eat 4, 6, even 10 eggs a day and feel better than ever. I am Dr. Mira Tan, a men's health specialist with 7 years of clinical experience in andrology. I am going to give you a clear, medically accurate answer to the question everyone is afraid to answer. How many eggs can you actually eat safely each day? So, what is going on here? Why is one of the simplest foods on the planet surrounded by so much fear, confusion, and outdated advice? Here is the truth. For decades, most of what people were told about eggs was completely wrong. Today, we are stripping away every myth and every flawed study. And before we go deeper, if you care about real science, real nutrition, and real results for your body, hit that subscribe button and comment below because I want to know where you are watching from. I always listen to your feedback. And I promise you this, if you stay with me until the end, the truth about eggs will shock you. It may even change how you eat for the rest of your life. First, why are we all confused about eggs? Let's start with what every physician knows, but very few explain. Egg advice is confusing because most of the studies from the 60s, 7s, and 80s were seriously flawed. They did not separate eggs from bacon, pancakes, or processed cooking oils. They simply labeled the entire breakfast as an egg breakfast. No wonder eggs got blamed. They were convicted by association. Research today is completely different. It is more precise, more controlled, and the conclusion is becoming clearer and clearer. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense and metabolism-supporting foods on the planet. For most people, daily intake is not only safe, it is beneficial. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-rich metabolism-supporting foods on the planet. And for most people, daily consumption is not only safe, it is genuinely beneficial. But before we answer how many, we need to fix one more issue. Second, let us address the deception in the egg aisle. Walk into any grocery store and you are confronted with a wall of labels. Cage-free, free-range, vegetarian-fed, natural, omega-3, organic. Most people assume these labels reflect quality, but here is the truth. Most of them are marketing. Cage-free only means the hens are not kept in cages. They can still be densely packed inside large barns. Free range sounds impressive until you learn that the legal requirement may simply mean access to the outdoors, even if that outdoor area is nothing more than a small concrete patch. Vegetarian-fed surprises most people. Chickens are not vegetarians. They naturally eat bugs, insects, worms, and larvae, not soy and corn. Natural has no scientific definition when it comes to eggs. So, what should you actually look for? Pasture-raised combined with organic is the gold standard. These hens roam on grass, eat a natural diet, and lay eggs that are higher in vitamin A, higher in vitamin E, higher in omega-3 fats, higher in zinc and selenium, higher in choline, higher in lutein and zeaxanthin, and naturally higher in vitamin K2. Gentlemen, stay with me because what comes next is just as important. A pasture-raised egg is almost a completely different food. Third, what makes eggs a true nutritional superfood? 1 egg contains complete high-quality protein, healthy fats, choline that supports brain function, antioxidants that protect the eyes, fats, soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, B vitamins that support metabolism, and essential minerals for immune function and hormonal balance. And here is the biggest secret. The nutrients in eggs are extraordinarily bioavailable. That means your body absorbs and uses them far more efficiently than those from most other foods. Eggs are also one of the richest natural sources of choline, a nutrient essential for memory, focus, mood regulation, liver health, and nervous system communication. Most people are deficient in choline. Eggs correct that. The only vitamin eggs do not provide is vitamin C, which is why pairing eggs with vegetables is ideal. Fourth, the cholesterol issue. let us address the elephant in the room, cholesterol. For decades, eggs were labeled as dangerous because they contain dietary cholesterol. Modern science has completely overturned this belief. What we now know is that your liver produces roughly 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every day. When you eat cholesterol, your liver simply produces less. When you eat less cholesterol, your liver produces more. This feedback loop keeps levels stable. Here is the biggest shock. Dietary cholesterol does not significantly raise blood cholesterol in most people. What actually raises LDL cholesterol are sugar, refined carbohydrates, inflammation, oxidized oils, and chronic stress. Eggs were never the problem. Cholesterol is not a villain. It is a repair molecule. Your body uses it to build every cell membrane, produce vitamin D, synthesize hormones, create bile acids for digestion, and repair tissue damage. Blaming cholesterol for arterial damage is like blaming firefighters for a fire. If this information is new to you, tap the like button. Now we arrive at the most important question. How many eggs can you safely eat each day? That is the real question. After everything we have covered, you want a clear boundary and a definitive answer. While context always matters because your personal health is the most important context of all, the research is surprisingly consistent. For most healthy individuals, studies repeatedly show that up to 3 eggs per day is not only safe, but often beneficial. In the context of a whole food diet that is low in sugar, that number can be significantly higher. Let me break it down by individual. For the average healthy adult, 2 to 3 eggs per day is the sweet spot. Safe, nutritious, and intelligent. If you increase to 4, you may further boost intake of critical fat-soluble vitamins and antioxidants we discussed earlier. For athletes and highly active individuals, your body is a rebuilding machine. 3 to 6 eggs per day can serve as a perfect source of highly bioavailable protein to support muscle repair and synthesis. Listen closely to your body's hunger signals here. For individuals with normal LDL levels and low inflammation who are metabolically healthy, this is the key point. If your blood work is solid and systemic inflammation is low, then 3 to 6 eggs per day can be a powerful tool. They increase satiety support, stable energy, and can be a strong ally for improving body composition goals. For older adults, age-related muscle loss is a real threat. Eggs provide the highest quality protein available to help counter this process. 2 to 3 eggs per day is a highly recommended and easily digestible strategy to preserve muscle mass and support overall nutrition. For individuals with type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance, eggs contain virtually no carbohydrates. They do not spike blood glucose and act as a stabilizing food. 2 eggs per day is an excellent starting point, and 3 per day is generally safe if the overall diet remains low in refined carbohydrates and sugar. Eggs promote fullness without glycemic swings. For individuals with high cholesterol, this is the group most often concerned. This is where real science applies. For the majority of people, 1 to 2 eggs per day does not increase cardiovascular risk. The critical action is not removing eggs, but reducing sugar and ultra-processed foods that cause arterial damage, which cholesterol attempts to repair. Address the fire, not the firefighter. For children, growing bodies require nutrient-dense foods. 1 egg per day is an excellent foundation. And for highly active growing children, more may be entirely appropriate to meet energy and developmental needs. And yes, to address the obvious, there are individuals, particularly in low-carbohydrate and ketogenic communities, who regularly consume 6, 8, or even 10 eggs per day and thrive. The reason is that their diets have removed the true drivers of disease, sugar, seed oils, and ultra-processed foods. However, there are exceptions, and this is not a prescription. If you have a rare genetic condition such as familial hypercholesterolemia where cholesterol regulation is impaired, you should work closely with a physician. If you have a confirmed egg allergy, this clearly does not apply. And this point is critical. These benefits assume you are consuming high-quality pasture-raised organic eggs as part of a diet that supports metabolic health. 10 eggs with French fries and soda is a completely different situation. Who should be cautious? Eggs are extremely safe, but caution is warranted for individuals with egg allergy, which is obvious but important. Those with severe inherited lipid disorders, which are rare. Individuals without a gallbladder or with difficulty digesting fats should begin with 1 egg per day and increase gradually. Those sensitive to histamine should consume freshly cooked eggs and avoid reheating. If you fall into any of these categories, consult your healthcare provider. The healthiest ways to eat eggs. Preparation matters and significantly influences health impact. The best methods include soft-boiled, hard-boiled, poached, lightly fried, or gently scrambled eggs cooked over low heat using butter or olive oil. Avoid very high heat. Avoid browning or crisping. Avoid cooking with vegetable oils. And avoid overcooking or burning the yolk. High heat damages fats and oxidizes cholesterol, turning an ideal food into a less healthy one. The healthiest yolk is soft and golden, not gray or crumbly. Using eggs based on your goals. For fat loss, consume 2 to 3 eggs with leafy vegetables to enhance satiety and stabilize insulin. For muscle growth, consume 3 to 5 eggs paired with quality carbohydrates for optimal amino acid balance. For focus and energy, consume 2 to 3 eggs with avocado to increase choline intake and healthy fats. For older adults, consume 1 to 2 eggs with greens to support muscle preservation and brain health. Now that you understand how many eggs you can safely eat each day, the next question is, what actually happens inside your body when you eat eggs consistently every day? You are about to discover benefits most people have never heard about, including effects on the brain, metabolism, and even hormonal balance. The most important takeaway is this: eggs are not the problem. They are the solution we misunderstood for decades. Do not blame this near-perfect food for damage caused by sugar and refined carbohydrates. So, what happens when you eat 4 eggs every day? This next video connects directly with everything we discussed today and walks you step by step through the exact transformations that occur inside your body. I am Dr. Mira Tan.